everyone, Christina Tarantola here with Miss Joy Bufalini, who is a business coach and founder at Pittsburgh Women's Mastermind for Entrepreneurs. And today we're going to talk about some of the things that we'll be discussing at our Stop Stressing, Start Living event. So we wanted to give you a sneak peek and make it fun, make it something that you can really take something out of and apply to your life. So what are your Halloween plans? Do you have anything going on? Well, I'm trying to be a salsa girl with this dress.
Very fun. Very fun. Yes. I have 3 teenagers who still want to go trick-or-treating and get candy.
I want to go.
Right? I know. Why not? Our neighborhood does like a block party in our cul-de-sac. So we go outside and have some food and wine. And so
that's
always
cool.
fun.
For the adults.
The adults Halloween. That's right.
That's really cool. So, I want to talk about, self-sabotage. That's something that is, something that I see in my line of work, and I'm sure you see in yours. So tell me more about, what self-sabotage is and how you see that manifest in the people that you work with.
Yes. Self-sabotage is one of those sneaky things. Like a lot of times we think we're sabotaging ourselves when we completely ignore everything and we're sitting on the couch watching Netflix and eating ice cream, right? We think that's self-sabotage, right? Or breaking our diet or something like that. But especially for women, self-sabotage can show up in really small ways that we don't even realize what's going on. And it usually comes from a place of us really fearing taking the next step in our life. And it can show up in a variety of ways, but oftentimes it's about us just getting stuck when we see that we fall into some patterns and we have some intentions, we have some goals, we're just not meeting them. When it doesn't make sense, like I really want this, I really want to do this. When it doesn't make sense, when it seems like we're almost working against ourselves, there's some kind of self-sabotage going on there. And there's always a really good reason that we self-sabotage.
A story.
There's something going on behind the scenes that sometimes we can't see.
Yep.
We make ourselves wrong. We tend to beat ourselves up. Like, I wanted to lose this weight, or I wanted to get this far in my business, or I wanted to get this promotion, or, whatever endeavor that we have in mind. There's always some reason. It's not because there's anything wrong with us. And when we can find what's actually fueling that, we can unravel it and we can really make that progress forward.
I love the way you said that. And that's why coaching is so powerful, because if you think about like you're driving a car, it's your blind spot. You can't always see it. And someone said this really, actually one of our pastors at the church gave this really good sermon the other day. And he was like, he started off by saying, have you ever gotten something stuck in your teeth and you didn't know it? And it's always it's always black or green, and it's in the same spot. And I was like, wow, like, you don't know what you don't know unless someone else tells you.
You're exactly right. Yeah. So. And especially with these things that have to do, like, they're so personal to us, they're very close to us. We're so close to it, it's in our own head that we can't get perspective. It is a blind spot because we can only see one perspective of it. So oftentimes, events like we're hosting or working with a coach can make all the difference because they can give you that perspective and help you see things that you can't see that are in those perimeters.
Right. And something else that, you use the word stuck, and a lot of people don't see the options that they have. So that's another way that just having an outside perspective can really help be like, oh, well, I didn't even think of having, because when I first started to think about this event, I was like, well, I can't do it all myself. So I started to think of different options, and then you've helped out so much with different things. So yeah, definitely.
It's been really fun. And so some examples of what self-sabotage can look like. One of the things that women especially struggle with is perfectionism. And we think perfectionism, well, that's like something to strive for, right? I want to do things really, really well. But perfectionism, first of all, perfect is like this standard that just is completely unattainable. Like it's undefinable, actually. And so the theme of perfectionism is never good enough, never arriving. And so sometimes we go on an endeavor, we start something, and we never feel like it's good enough to put it out there, or to start showing up more visibly, or to start being more confident. I'm never thin enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough experience. And these stories that we say, like there's some end goal that we'll ever reach, that we feel that way, it's not true. And that's a sneaky form that we keep ourselves, sneaky way we keep ourselves stuck, is that it's not enough. So I encourage you to, if you're feeling stuck, to notice ways that you've made progress. It doesn't have to be about obtaining some impossible standard or comparing yourself to someone who's just a little further ahead of the path, of just saying, what's the next step for me? What's progress for me? And that can kind of get us out of that loop of that perfectionistic self-sabotage.
Right. And along with that, something that I see a lot is black and white thinking. So like the all or nothing.
Yes.
It's like, especially with, health and with dieting,
Yes.
We try to really encourage our clients to look at things with curiosity instead of being so hard on yourself about, I ate a cookie. Well, I just made a post on Facebook today about it's about balance. So, and it's not just that you're, if you eat a cookie, you failed.
Yes.
It's not that black and white, but just finding the gray area and also having that self-compassion is huge.
Yes.
And I've been a perfectionist. I probably still am in sneaky ways. But yeah.
Sure. No, that's so true. Is that's a really good, it shows up at all or nothing, like black or white. Either I'm on the wagon or off the wagon. Right. And so once we feel like we made one little mistake, then that's a way we sabotage ourselves too. Like, I'll never get there. I'll never be able to do it. And you notice that self-talk that kind of follows that.
Yeah.
And being aware of when we're being really harsh on ourselves, like, wait a second, this isn't serving me, and really questioning that negative self-talk, Yeah,
and something that I've found just to help, I don't know if this is helpful for anybody, but just to laugh at myself, I'm like, oh wait, I said that wrong, oops, and if you can find that joy and that that lightheartedness, all right, it's not a big deal, it's not life or death.
Yeah.
It really helps you enjoy the process of, building your business or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, whatever that is. So.
Yeah, very true. We do take things so seriously, right? We're giving ourselves more grace and just having a little more fun with the process, right?
That's why I started out with the Halloween thing. Why not?
That's right.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what are some other ways? So, lack of self-care is something that, is huge. And, you just went and got a massage today.
I did. I had a little found time, right? And I was like, I have lots of things I could be doing on my laptop, and, I could just, park it somewhere. And I'm like, no, I need to take care of me. I've had a really great month. I've had a really busy month. And I'm just going to take that time to do that. So that was really good. And that's going to help me just keep my mind focused and to make sure I'm not in that hustle mode.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's what we do. We push ourselves. And even if we've made progress, we tend to not acknowledge our success and allow ourselves to just take our foot off the gas pedal, take a break, take a breath. That's so important. And sometimes it shows up too as staying up too late. I talk with a lot of women, they just stay up really, really late, just sort of because they haven't taken any time during the day to take care of themselves. It's kind of like they end up staying up really late and then don't get enough sleep, and then they're really tired the next day. And sometimes it's a subtle form of self-sabotage too, of scrolling on Facebook for hours just because it's just something to do. It's kind of numbing sometimes too, staying up late, and or it's a way we have an excuse the next day. Well, I'm just so tired, or I don't sleep well. So kind of having some routines around getting to bed at a good time, making sure you're eating good, healthy meals, making sure you're taking time to take care of your body, and all of that is so important to the whole picture of things.
Absolutely. And I really always tell people, it's the foundation of your house. You can't build on something that's not stable if you're not taking care of yourself or sleeping or, you're prone to burnout, like you said. It can really affect your progress in a lot of ways. So
and we as women are usually put everyone else first, right? It's if I have time at the end of the day, and then we're too tired, or we don't have time, or we just say, oh well, we put ourselves last. So put yourself at the top of your priority list. It's okay. It's not selfish, right? Because that's the thing, that we feel like it's selfish. And it's not. It's essential, and it's foundational.
And I grew up that way, thinking that I need to go. That's just how I was raised in an Italian household.
Right.
And, I just think that it is important. It's not selfish. It's self-care to allow yourself, to get a massage. I get a massage once a month too. I love Elements Massage is the best. So
I'll pitch there. That's where I was at, right?
They're great.
That's where I saw the picture. You had an advertisement for an event that we'll be talking about here. Yeah,
definitely. So very important. And then going along with some of these other ways, negative self-talk, that's something that I catch myself. I'm like, No, don't think that, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be our own cheerleader or have friends and supportive people. Yes. Which is something that you have, which I love. I wanted you to share more about your mastermind group that I went to.
Oh, yes. That was great to have you there, too. Yes, so I started a women's group in January 2016, so pretty exciting. We're getting up on 2 years here soon. And I felt like it just needed a different energy. Maybe you've been to a lot of networking groups, and there's a place if you're a business owner or you need to network to do that. But I felt like as women, we need to come together and really connect and have discussions about the challenges that we're facing. This group is particularly focused on women business owners and the unique challenges that we face because we're juggling so many things and really having heart-to-heart conversations, building relationship, building friendships, and sometimes just being vulnerable and be authentic. That kind of goes in that theme with like being perfectionistic. Like we don't have to put on a front, pretend like we have it all together. Like we're all real here and we're all on the journey together. So so it's been a great journey. We're in Cranberry, South Hills, and Robinson. We have, I think, about 130 members now, which is really neat. So I've just enjoyed the energy of the group and getting to know so many women and collaborations going on through there.
And that's the main difference that I noticed when I went was just the energy around, and you even made it fun. You were like asking certain like trigger questions like, oh, what was if you had X amount of like whatever, how would you choose to spend it or whatever that was?
Exactly. No, it was a question. We were talking about business. If money were in abundance,
yes, that's what it was.
And it kind of opened the door in our mind to dream a little bit. Because we tend to, in all areas of our life, sometimes see the obstacles instead of the opportunities. And we see the obstacles like a wall and we don't even try to look around it, Right. So instead of saying, what if I look around that wall or open that doorway, what could be possible? And then it starts turning some ideas in our brain and we can move forward with. So yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. If you're a women business owner and you want to check out Joy's group, I highly recommend it.
Thanks.
So yeah, what else can we tell them about what you'll be speaking about?
Yes. Some of the things I'm going to talk about, well, of course, the event is Stop Stressing, right? Some of the ways that we do what stress really is, what stress really means, what's going on in our head when we're stressed. A lot of times we think it's about outer circumstances. We think it's about, it's out there. I'm stressed because, and we point outward without realizing that we have a lot of power in our own management of how we perceive things, our interpretation of events. Sometimes we actually overload a lot of stress that we don't need to take on, or we take it on, it becomes heavier and heavier because of our perceptions and interpretations of it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about other ways that self-sabotage kicks in, which would have to do with like not setting boundaries, learning to what to say yes to, what to say no to, how to get clear on like what's right for you. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that it needs to be your priority, or just because every other mom is doing it, or
but you should come to the event. That's something you should do.
Absolutely. Oh, right. Yes. Say yes.
Say yes to the event.
December 2nd. Say yes to that, because that is going to be right for you moving forward. But but oftentimes we overcommit, we overgive, we say yes to everything because we think it's out of the goodness of our hearts, but actually we're stealing from ourselves, and sometimes even saying yes to everything is a way of sabotage. We're like, I'm too busy. I have 3 kids, or, my kids demand so much of me. And sometimes we have to, it's once again, putting ourselves up on our priority list and saying yes to the things that are going to enrich us, build those relationships, and are going to keep us refueled, for sure.
I'm definitely guilty of that.
We're all a work in progress with that. Right. Yeah. But I think as you grow personally, and if you're a business owner, as your business grows too, you learn like some things have to be like non-negotiable. Some things are non-negotiable. Yes, I have to do this, which is some of the self-care and routines and rituals. And some things you just have to start saying no to that maybe you didn't say no to before. And that's hard to do. But like if you get in that energy of respecting yourself and respecting your greater purpose, that really helps too, of just saying, it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that like these are my priorities. It just doesn't match this person's priorities, and that's okay. Right.
And like you said, that's going to change as you morph and grow.
It is. Yeah, I've noticed for me that's changed a lot in the last year of like what I say yes to and what I say no to. Yeah. Like what's focused on where I want to be, and being around people like you, right? who are more and more who are forward thinking, who are about personal growth and development. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to hear your...
I can't wait to hear yours
Your
too.
talk at the
Right. I got to get a sneak peek at her outline for the event too. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, let's talk about how people can register for the event.
Okay.
So the event is December 2nd at St. Barnabas at the Keene Theater. So make sure that you look in the show notes below. I'm going to be posting a description with a link so you can register. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will be serving food, so don't worry, we'll feed you. And how can they get tickets?
Yes. Well, you have the event link here, right?
Yep.
Okay. And there's a special code so you can get $5 off,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
JB, my initials. Okay.
Yeah.
Use code JB to get $5 off the event. It's going to be so value packed with information. You're going to be in a room full of women who are wanting the same things that you want. So it's going to be a great opportunity just to meet people as well and connect with people and get lots of great ideas, get your, think about what you really want for 2018. So yeah, that code JB, just think Joy Bufalini.
Yep.
And also, so check out the link for the event and like Pittsburgh Women's Mastermind you can find on my website, joybufalini.com. There's a link, a drop-down link on that for looking at those events.
I will post all of your contact info so people can know how to reach you.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
Good
see you
to
guys
connect.
December 2nd.
All right.